Europeans are shocked and horrified as coronavirus cases hit 5 million and the death toll in America hits about 162,000. So now, members from Newsweek and the Associated Press spoke with people in Italy, as well as Germans and residents of other nations. And, well, what they had to say about America wasn't exactly nice. So now, it's important to note that America is now at the top of the at risk travelers to Europe, meaning that they do not want us coming to their country, at least until they know what the hell is going on. Right. So now, one Italian man, according to the AP, said, or basically asks about America, don't they care about their health? They need to take our precautions, which of course includes masks and social distancing, and adds they need a real lockdown, which, by the way, we didn't really have. We had like a partial quasi lockdown, which wasn't really a real lockdown, right? Look, Benjamin Dixon talks about this all the time. He says, look, Americans for a short period of time should be completely locked down and have everything delivered, food, debit card, all that stuff delivered via USPS. And that's it. And then until the numbers go down, then people can come back out slowly. So look, that's what a lot of countries had actually done. Now, Massimo Franco, columnist with the daily Corriere della Sera newspaper, says this: we Italians always saw America as a model, but with this virus, we discovered a country that is very fragile, with bad infrastructure and a public health system that is non-existent. I mean, where's the lie? I mean, really. So now, look, it's kind of amazing when people outside of America actually realize that, oh, wait, America doesn't have universal health care? Wait, they don't? These are people, again, outside this country. Nobody knows what a deductible is. What's a deductible? What's a copay? What's an out of health care network charge? What is that? What's a healthcare network? I don't understand the concept. They don't know that you're charged $2,000 to $3,000 for an ambulance. And then as a result, many people don't actually use an ambulance. It blows their mind because they've never had to deal with it. Okay? They've always had health care. Now, several European doctors had agreed with their U.S. counterparts in saying that Americans' individualist spirit, which is sometimes a really good thing, right? In this case, it's a bad thing. It has backfired and led the country to the top of the both infection and death toll lists. We're number one. We're number one. We win. Oh, wait. This is not a prize that you want to win. Okay. Italian Health Minister Roberto Speranza, one of the country's top public health officials, condemned Donald Trump and Washington lawmakers' response to the virus as, quote, wrong. Very wrong. Italy now sees about 150 to 300 new cases nationwide, down from the 6,500 daily cases the country had recorded on March 21st. You guys remember when Italy was a flaming disaster, right? At the start of COVID. And you had people in America that are like, oh my God, look at Italy. They're doing such a terrible job. I don't think any country could ever fuck up as much as Italy does. I mean, look at those guys over there. Oh, what a disaster. And then here in America, 5 million cases, 162,000 dead. We're going to continue, by the way. We will likely see 200,000 people die before the election. And so this is not good. This is a disaster. And so now in the US, again, there's about 54,000 new cases of coronavirus a day. Cases, not deaths, very important distinction, because obviously not everybody's going to die from coronavirus. But even if you have like a 1% mortality rate, that's still pretty bad as the numbers go up. Okay. And now when you compare us again to Italy now, well, their number of cases per capita is a lot less than ours per capita. And so when you do a comparison, the United States is losing very badly. We are not doing well at this. Okay, and unfortunately, the only ones that we can really blame are ourselves and our leadership, of course. Now, medical professionals. Uh, I'm sorry. Here's one professor at the University of Birmingham in England. This is Scott Lucas saying this quote: "Had the medical professionals been allowed to operate in the states, you would have belatedly gotten to a point of getting to grips with this back in March. But of course, the medical and public health professionals were not allowed to proceed unchecked." Now, look, the UK is also not doing fantastic with this, but they're doing better than we are. Look, again, the United States leads the world, followed by Brazil, Russia. Any place where you have an authoritarian right-wing leader, they do really, really poorly. Who knew, right? And so now, as far as what do you mean? These health professionals were not allowed to proceed unchecked. Well, he means Donald Trump, the Trump administration, Fox News, the Republican Party, they have basically done everything they can in their power to downplay the virus. Not only that, but of course, you have the response to the virus. If you downplay it and say it's not a big deal, then it really excuses you to not do a whole lot when it comes to addressing the situation as well, to addressing the virus, closing down the states, making sure that we, don't send people back to school in person before we have a handle on this virus. And we're not doing that. We are sending the kids back to school. And now you'll have 97,000 children that have come back with positive coronavirus cases. I thought children are supposed to be immune, according to Donald Trump. They're clearly not and never were. Now, here's the other thing, right? So, again, since you've got all these right-wing figures, mainly the Republican Party, Fox News, Donald Trump, saying that you should just basically ignore recommendations from public health officials. They said that for quite some time, right? And so a lot of the people who heard this message, they decided to dive face first into conspiracy theories that are not backed up by credible evidence. And that's why a country like New Zealand has been COVID-free for about 100 days, whereas in Europe, they flattened the curve. But in America, we're a dumpster fire. We're going to hit 200,000 deaths. A couple of months. And we're not social distancing. We're not wearing masks as much as we should, right? And we're reopening the country too fast. Again, if we had actually done everything that we were supposed to do, then we would be able to have reopened by this point, at least to a better extent. Instead, we're not doing that. And a lot of our politicians are just throwing up their hands and saying, whatever. If they die, they die. Not good. Complete and utter failure. And again, as I mentioned before, it's no one's fault except for ourselves and our terrible leadership.